Hello everyone, I'm the Dynamic Duover and welcome to the Season 1 finale review of Fear the Walking Dead, The Good Man. Now this means Fear the Walking Dead is over now, but I would like to announce that The Walking Dead reviews start next week. So, I'm not leaving the zombie apocalypse, and good thing for Halloween is coming up, so all works out for me. So let's get to this episode right away. After last episode, episode 5, Cobalt, we know the military is leaving. We know that they're going to execute all of the people they have in their hospital, and that a stadium is filled with 2,000 zombies. Now, in this episode, there will be spoilers for the Season 1 finale. If you haven't seen it, leave this video now, then come back to it when you have seen the Season 1 finale. So, I thought it was a good start to end this first season. I don't end it on a hopeful note, but I'll get into that near the end. So, we begin with Danya, Ophelia, Travis, Madison, Alicia, and Chris going to the hospital to save Nick and Liza. And now Danya and Travis are arguing about whether to kill Andy, the military sergeant they had captured in last episode, and or whether to let him go or to take him with them. Now this season we have seen like the conflict between Travis and Danya, whether their ideas have conflict each other, and they haven't been on the best terms, and this is no exception, where Travis wants to let this guy live, while Daniel will rather let him die. So overall, Madison sides with Travis on this one to let Andy live. That's the sergeant's name, by the way. And they decide to take him to the hospital so he can show them where to go. And before they leave, we also have this moment between Danya and Ophelia, and Ophelia is trying to understand that her father wasn't a victim; he was the person who did those things, and she still doesn't accept it. But she goes along to save her mother, who she thinks is still alive, but she died in the last episode. So we head to the hospital, but along the way we know that the military has abandoned these people, and no one knows it. Like, people are still going on with their daily lives, thinking the military is still here. But it turns out they are leaving. And during the way to the hospital, we saw the neighbors like having dinner, walking the dog, and thinking everything was normal. But they have no idea what's about to come for them. They're probably all dead by now. And we also see that military has left. Like, there's no one guarding them now. And Travis has let Andy go because Andy told Travis he's not like the others. They would kill him in the end, but you wouldn't. So he uses Travis' conscience against him. So during this time we go to Nick and Strain, and I have to admit I do like Strain. He's a great character. He's this wealthy businessman from the looks of him, and from his house we later see in this episode. And in this episode, like, you can tell he's ready to survive. Like, he and Nick, or the two people in the shows, and Danya, can't forget about Danya, those three people are the three people you want to survive in Apocalypse with. And I have a feeling that Strain will become a main character in Season 2. So during this time, like, they've broken out of the seal, they left everyone behind, and Strain even commented and saying they are safer in there than out here. And they are planning to head to Strain's house to pick up some supplies, then go to a special place, which I will comment on when we get to the ending. But they make a terrible decision. They they lock a door behind them, but it automatically locks behind them. Like, they didn't do it on purpose, but they didn't know. You need a key lock to open these doors, which they don't have. Then they run into the soldier from the last episode that Strain has been giving his watch and his valuables to, and he's being eaten alive. So Strain takes his stuff back and leaves that officer to die. Then lots of walkers. Like, during this time, Daniel has let all the walkers from the stadium, 2,000 of them, out of the stadium, and now they're heading to the hospital. He's been guiding them along the entire time. And when the military thinks, they think, oh, hell no. Like, things are going from bad to worse now. There's nothing these people can do. Like, they're all dead, basically. And some of the military knows it already. So when Travis and Madison arrive, they park underneath the hospital's underground parking, and they leave Chris and Alicia to guard the cars. And Olivia, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Like she improved from other episodes this time. She's actually doing stuff. She's helping Travis, Daniel, and Madison find Nick and Liza. And they find they find the room where all of the people are being kept, and they find that Strain and Nick have escaped, and they start to let people out of these cages so they can escape. Now, during this time, when the walkers, arrived at the hospital, they started to attack, and there was a helicopter coming down to take out the sick and some of the hospital staff, and Liza was among one of them. But when the walkers started to attack, that helicopter just left. No reason to stay behind where lots of infected people are. So the doctor from the last 2 episodes that have been in charge of the hospital, I forgot her name, but she's not that big of a character anyways. She tells everyone to leave, including Liza. So Liza starts heading to the parking where all the military are leaving now, and Liza sees that these walkers are about to get through the gates. They are getting through the gates, and one of the military sergeants gets infected and runs into a helicopter blade. That's how bad things are getting. No one has hope anymore. They think death is the only option. So yeah, Liza runs back to help all of her patients because she wouldn't let this happen to them. So during this time, Chris and Alicia are in charge of the car, protecting it. Then the 3 military officers arrive and steal the car and beat up Chris and leave Alicia to help him. So yeah, the car is gone. So then we go back to Nick and Strain, who are now running from these walkers that have broken in, and they head back to the door that is locked. And right now, during this episode, there are a lot of moments like, oh my gosh, is she gonna die? Oh, is Nick gonna die? Is Travis gonna die? Is Madison going to die? And that's how, this episode has those moments when you think these characters are about to die. And this is no exception. You see the walkers coming down the hall to kill, to eat Strain and Nick. And you see Travis, Madison, Daniel, and Ophelia trying to open the door. Then Liza came in the last second when these walkers are about to get to Nick and Strain. She opens the door and they run, but not enough time to shut the door behind them. So these walkers are now chasing them. They head into the kitchen where more walkers are waiting for them. And they fight them off, and they head back to where the patients are being held. And they are all dead. That doctor from the previous episodes have killed them all because she has given up hope. And Liza tries to convince her that she can come with her and her family. But she replies, there's nowhere to go. She has given up hope that there's nowhere safe to go now. So they leave her, and they now it's morning. Like most of the military has even been killed or have escaped, and we see what happens to the dead bodies after the people died in the hospital. They burn the bodies. They just burn them, and Daniel and Ophelia thinks Daniel's wife is in there. And Ophelia starts to break down. This was a sad moment. Like, yes, we saw there was mention of this stuff in The Walking Dead, but to see it is very sad that these people used to be alive, and to do that to their bodies is just disgraceful. So then we head to the parking lot where the car has been stolen, and Chris and Alicia are still alive, and they still have Strain's car that he gotten back, and Travis' truck. So then Andy, the sergeant that Travis has let go in the beginning of the episode, arrives and threatens to shoot Daniel, but then changes his mind and shoots Ophelia, not just in the right shoulder, so nothing that can't be treatable. She's going to be fine. But then Travis just runs up and starts to beat him, like punching him over and over and over again. Like, something must have happened in Travis' past, that he's seen this stuff before, and he doesn't want to be a part of it. But when he sees Ophelia get shot, it must remind him of something from his past, because we all know from previous episodes, Travis doesn't like guns, and we don't know why. So that's something that would probably be brought up in Season 2. So they all decide to leave the hospital now, and they head to Strain's house. And it turns out he has a mansion in the good part of LA. Like, on the way there, I forgot to mention, we see what's happening to LA. There are walkers now roaming the streets. You see, like, dead people in the streets, and the city has fallen. Nothing will get better now. It's all over. The time for the government have fallen. So next season, we're probably going to see how these characters deal with the new world. Like, this season was about to introduce them to this new world. Now we will see them interact with this new world. And things are not going to get better, I bet. So they arrive, and Liza treats the wounds, and we find out, like, Strand has been talking about this person named Allegra. I think that's her name. But it turns out Allegra, whatever her name is, isn't a real person. She's a ship. And Strain is willing to take Travis, Nick, everyone else with him because he grown a fond of these people. He's willing to take them with him because of these people. He's alive, so I think he's just repaying the price, I think. But it turns out Liza has been infected. Like, I kind of guessed this when she tells Chris that she loves him and things are going to get all better. I think that's the moment where we all realize she's been infected. And Madison realizes this and follows her down to the beach where she's ready to shoot herself. Then Travis arrives, and he's just like, he's in denial. He thinks things are going to get better. But this is the moment when he realizes things are way past getting normal. This is where everything changes for Travis. He shoots Liza in the head, which prevents her from coming back as a walker. Everyone from the house could hear this, and Chris runs down and sees Liza's dead body, and he breaks down. And we find out that Travis is also breaking down. He's in shock that he's done this. And the episode ends with us looking onto the sea. Things have gone from worse to bad. How will these people survive now with the military gone? And what will happen when they leave LA in season 2? So, what did I think about this episode overall? I thought it was a very well done finale. For the last 2 episodes, which has been zombie free almost, we see the effects. We see the full Walker problem heads on. They've been holding the Walkers back, and I'm glad they did this. I like it how the military was overwhelmed by the Walker threat. I like how many people realizes that things are already too bad to get better. And Tobias is not in this episode again. I hate to say this, but I think he's just dead, which is sad because I really like that character. And I'm sad that we didn't see him again in this season. But who knows, maybe he's alive in season 2. And I also like how they didn't end it like in The Walking Dead, where you had none of the main characters die. You had a main character die, which shows that shows the people that no one is safe on the show. It's season 1, of course they weren't going to kill anyone off until the season finale. But I am a bit shocked that it was Liza, because she had the most use to the group. I thought if anyone was going to die, I thought it was going to be Alicia or Travis, to be honest. And I was expecting a bit more deaths this season. But hey, season 2. So I give this episode an 8 out of 10. I'm the Dynamic Duover. Until next time.